Sup, y'all, and welcome to Press On Sports. I'm Jack Vita. Today is going to be a very exciting show. We are going into reality TV. We're going to be talking about the Bachelorette premiere, and then we're going to be talking about the Survivor finale, which just aired. And if you are only here for the Bachelorette, you don't have to stick around for the Survivor portion. But if you're not in vice versa, if you're only here for Survivor, you can skip ahead. We'll try to keep it. I'll put timestamps on there so you know where you can skip ahead to. But for right now, I'm going to welcome to the show for the first time my sister, Laura Vita.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome, Laura.
Thanks for having me.
Live from our dining room.
Yeah, it's rowdy.
I gotta ask you first thing, are you here for the right reasons?
Oh, let's do the darn thing.
You beat me to it. All right, so Laura, what do you think about Becca as a Bachelorette?
Well, obviously Becca deserves it. The whole Ari thing, it's really weird. He brought up during after all of that last season finale aired, he said oh, I did that so Becca could be the Bachelorette.
No, he didn't.
No one believes you, dude. No one. But I think she's really she's from the Midwest, down to earth. I think she's looking
Minnesota.
I think she'll be looking for kind of a guy's guy, just a well-rounded guy, down to earth, like sports and stuff like that. I could tell. I think her family is involved with a church or something. So
isn't her uncle? There was a reference to her uncle. Yeah. Is he a pastor or something?
Yeah, I think so. And I think her dad died.
Oh.
So her uncle's been kind of like her dad. So yeah.
So are you Team Bachelor or Team Bachelorette? Which one do you prefer?
I think The Bachelor is more entertaining. But The Bachelorette seems to work out better.
Yeah, it does.
Because The Bachelor, you get, all these girls, fighting, and that's always fun to watch. But then The Bachelorette, they seem to know what they want, so... What do you think?
Well, first of all, you brought me into the show, so you've been watching the show a lot longer than I have.
Woohoo.
So the first one I remember seeing was The Bachelorette 2 years ago with JoJo and Jordan Rogers. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, I enjoyed Bachelorette more.
I actually didn't think those two would last. Because he seemed like a player that season. But, here they are. So
bringing the heat already. She's here to throw punches. I'm Team Bachelorette. But you might be Bachelor in Paradise.
That's a good one. I started watching that one last summer. Because I knew Raven and Adam were together now, and I really like seeing all their Instagrams, so I wanted to see how they came together as a couple. And yeah, so that was fun to watch. They couldn't find it on anything, so I bought it for $20 on iTunes.
Oh boy! I hope it was worth your money.
Yes, it is. Yep.
So okay, let's talk about it. So the show opens up. We see the montage of what happened. Did you need to be reminded of that, or did you like that they brought that in, the montage of what happened with Ari and the breakup at the start of the show?
Well, I feel like they always do that. You know?
Okay.
So I don't know. I could have fast forwarded and I remembered it pretty well. It was only a couple months ago, which is also interesting because she came back on after the final rose, and she seemed like she was ready to just pick find a new guy, but it was really? You really got over this guy you were gonna marry so quickly? I don't know. But yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, like you said, it definitely I feel like they could have made that even shorter.
The montage?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the scene with the former bachelorettes, that was kind of weird.
I liked it, except the whole, we don't know about what our viewers think of staging rooms, but I thought that part was a little weird, but I don't know. I like having because they're all still with their guys. Yeah. So it's cool to show that this show kind of works, for them at least.
I like seeing them. It was the saging I liked Caitlyn. She was I don't know why we're doing this. Yeah. This is weird.
Yeah. But yeah.
So that and there was interesting note there. So they said that each of them, they gave their first impression rose to the guys that they're still with.
That was really interesting. I like that they brought that up because I didn't pick that one up. I don't remember. It's hard to remember who got the impression rose of the season you just watched too, you know. But that was interesting.
So let's talk about some of the guys. This is a good point to lead in. Do you think Garrett is the front runner right away?
Garrett was the minivan guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was talking about this with Mom, and she was saying, like, yeah, it seems like he came... It's hard to tell. Like, when you're if you're the Bachelorette, you have to figure out which of these guys are going to be a player, which one is actually in it, or which ones are just trying to be on TV. And I think we were saying that this guy seemed pretty real. He was ready to settle down. He made that very clear as he entered with the minivan with the soccer balls and everything. I think Becca liked that.
Yeah, it was a good entrance. It's funny, the first time that we saw him like waving in front of the Vegas sign, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. Here comes Waboom or whatever his name is. And then he did the you probably didn't get the Chris Farley reference that he did, the Matt Foley from SNL. Oh, it was a really good impression. He did an impression there where he did the...
I don't remember that at all.
But he said, oh, yeah, I'm Garrett here from Reno, Nevada.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, that's a good impression. He seems like he's going to be good TV. But he showed up. He meant business.
Mm-hmm. What'd you think of the guy? I think he got eliminated, unfortunately. But Joe from Chicago, the grocery store owner.
How could you not like Joe from Chicago?
Everyone went off about him on Twitter.
Well, they were mad that he got the axe,
right? Everyone was like, free food for life? How could you turn that down? And then Chris Harrison tweeted out, I hope there's free food or free groceries in paradise.
Oh.
So maybe Joe, we'll see more of him. So...
Yeah, that'd be interesting. He seemed fun. He actually seemed like someone we could see on Survivor. What do you think?
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really get that good of a... I guess we'll get more out of him from in Paradise if he's there, but... do you think you'll watch Paradise?
Maybe. We'll see. It depends on how much my interest is there for Bachelorette.
Who's there and stuff.
Because I lost interest in Bachelor over this past season.
Why? Why's that?
I just didn't find Ari very interesting. I didn't like him.
I didn't like how because I wanted it to be somebody from Rachel's season.
Yeah.
Like Eric or...
Yeah, Eric would have been great.
But they... chose to dig deep from the past, and I don't know. I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
They probably should have kept it that way.
He's too old for those girls. That's another thought.
Had a lot of gray hair.
But, I mean, I watched Nick's season, and I didn't think Nick was very interesting, but I was still intrigued by...
Nick, they just had to be like, all right, dude, this is your last shot. We're not letting you back on this show anymore. You gotta,
But they had such a strong cast with, Corinne and Alexis that it was, compelling TV.
All those girls were in Paradise.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll see.
More. But, back to the Paradise note, yesterday I was reading Raven Gates's Bachelorette blog, and she decided not to talk about any of the guys. Oh. Because she knew...
Sounds like a real interesting blog.
She said... Well, she talked... It was kind of more of a, check out my website that I'm selling clothes on.
Oh,
and so she was... well, I guess in the past she's talked about the blog... Or the guys, but she said that she didn't want to talk about them because she has a lot of friends that are going to Paradise. So she doesn't want to skew their view of these guys who might be on the next season. And then she said that Adam might know some of them too.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, "I'll leave it at that." I was like, "Oh, I want to know more."
All right, well we'll get to Paradise someday. But let's talk about some of these other guys that we saw. So the first one I remember seeing was Clay Harbor, the NFL player. What'd you think of him?
He seemed cool in that intro video, and then when he started talking, he seemed really awkward. It was hard for him to make a conversation.
I think he was a little nervous.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
He seems really sweet though. He seems like a good guy. He seems interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But what do you think about, how they only show a couple clips at the beginning?
Yeah.
What do you think that shows any significance of how long those people last or what? Because they showed one of Joe, and then Joe got left the first day.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, the thing is I watch a lot of stuff with I look at a lot of things from the editing standpoint with Survivor, seen it with The Apprentice, Celebrity Apprentice, but I'm just not familiar enough with The Bachelor and how because this is like, those are Mark Burnett productions, or Big Brother's a show that's just continuously going on live, so we can't really predict. But I'm not familiar enough with ABC and their editing and what they're going for. If they try to do a misdirect, if they're trying to lead you to something. What do you think?
I don't know, because I remember last season of The Bachelor, I remember seeing Kendall. Remember the girl who played the guitar, the creative director? That's what.
Kind of.
Well, she. I remember she had a beginning intro video. And they showed her, because I remember being like, she looks weird. But she was there till the final 3 or whatever. So, I don't know. I used to always think that those people would make it the furthest, but I guess not.
But Clay was fun. He seemed fun. He was a little nervous, I think, but I hope he sticks around because he's got an interesting story.
Yeah. I was interested. Wait, you remember Leo? The guy with the long hair?
Yeah.
Who looked like Russell Brand? Yeah. Did he get a rose?
Yeah.
I was shocked at that. They don't seem very... I mean, obviously we don't know him, but they didn't look very compatible. But I don't know.
So then we see Garrett second, which we talked about, and then I'm trying to think
Colton.
We did have Colton, and he seems like a cool guy. He seems like a good guy.
Yeah, I think he looked cool. He was throwing a pigskin around.
I thought we were going to see more of him from the premiere.
Yeah, that was weird. But remember there was somebody who was the guy that she talked to for a while about how he was in the same kind of spot where he had just gotten out of a relationship. Yeah.
I don't really remember that.
I don't remember his name, but oh well. I was like, she seemed like he was a contender for the first impression rose. I wish I knew what his name was, but then he didn't get it.
Was that it, Blake? Blake? Was that the guy with the pinkish red coat?
Yeah. Oh, so that was the guy.
Maybe.
Wasn't he the one who, with the text message?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the text message thing, we'll get to that in a little bit.
All right.
So we saw Colton. What do you think of Colton? You like Colton?
Yeah, he seems cool.
He seems like a good guy. The previews for the season make it look like he's involved in some drama, though.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah.
And then we had the guy Jean-Francois or whatever his name is.
I don't know who that is.
I just kept thinking the Sex Panther cologne from Anchorman, because he had over 100 different colognes.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. That was interesting.
I was thinking of Brian
Miami
Fantana
or something, I think. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
And then there's Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was funny with Jordan when they're like, have you even talked to her? And it seemed like, are you actually interested in talking to her? Or are you here to talk to guys here?
About clothes. Yeah. But I think he gets a date next week. I'm not sure though. But I think I saw something on Twitter, an ad for the episode next week, and he said something about her outfit.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, he definitely seems like he's there to be a character on TV and boost his modeling career.
Yeah.
As they teased.
I bet he'll get called out for that too.
Oh, he will.
Wait, wasn't that? Oh, yeah.
Probably by the same guy who started the whole text messaging drama.
Yeah, there's always one of those.
Okay, so I gotta ask you about that. Do you think she handled that well? Do you think... I believe Chase was the guy's name who got called out for it. Do you think he handled it well? What do you think? So,
did they both say? I don't remember.
So, I think maybe his name's Jason. He looks like a shorter guy, and he goes over... It started with he goes over to a couple of the guys. I think Blake was one of them. The Harlem Globetrotter was one of them.
That guy seems sick.
He seems awesome. Dunking on the Bachelorette. That's great. Bring him to the dunk contest next year. But, yeah, so he goes over to them and he's like, so I got a text message from an ex-girlfriend of this guy. We have a mutual friend, and she dated this guy who's here, and he's not here for the right reasons, and he's here to just boost his business. And it seemed very unspecific.
But then when they were talking about it with Becca, the guy who was getting accused was like, I mean, we weren't dating. It was like a 1 month thing. And we were like, what?
Yeah.
It was all weird. So they both stayed or what?
So the guy who got called out did not stay.
Oh.
So I was just like, man, that stinks.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. I think that the guy who called him out, like, why are you gonna, like, I feel like fly under the radar.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be that guy who, like, calls somebody out the first night.
That's
like,
the only thing she remembers you by then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the guy who's stirring the pot.
Yeah. There's always that one who thinks he's being a really good guy by doing this. And it's like, you just come off as a tool. Like, trying to get rid of other people. But,
I like how those two guys were like, oh yeah, go for it. Why not? They're like, yeah, it's your grave.
Yeah.
But I think Blake even said at one point, like, oh, well, because that one guy the other guy got sent home. He's like, hey, one less person. So I think that's how he was thinking when he was giving advice.
Good idea. That's funny. But, yeah, I feel like she made a good decision, I guess. It just kind of stinks for that guy. But, I mean, it's the first night. If there's any kind of red flags, it's like, well, I'm not that emotionally attached yet. I'll just let you go, you know? And I guess she probably looked at him and was like, I don't really see it, you know? So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then probably the big story of the night was the gentleman who basically got on TV because he had met her before and gets sent home. I think she made the right call there.
Yeah, oh yeah. Do you see that a lot? These, like, it's happened with Nick, like, coming back, and, like, you see that a lot now, like, people just are, like, trying to get on TV, and, like, I think they always, usually, like, I think the Bachelorette, like, Becca in this case, makes the right decision in being like, you could have reached out to me.
Yeah.
Like, she had to do the same thing when her ex-boyfriend came last season. And
I didn't see that.
Oh. On The Bachelor, her ex-boyfriend came, and he, like, all the way to, like, some foreign country, and was, like, proposed to her, and she was like, no, like, you had all this time to, like, do that, and now, like, when I'm actually getting a shot at, like, someone new, like, you come, like, it's not, like, fair. So she sent him home, but I guess she did the same thing with this guy, too, who looked like he was just getting on TV.
Yeah, and he didn't seem very interesting or cool either.
Yeah.
And he was trying to explain himself, and he didn't make any sense.
He's like, we've only met once, all right? And she's like, okay, not true. Like, what?
All right, let's talk about some of the entrances. Did you have a favorite entrance? Did you like the minivan? That was good.
Yeah. There was one that was, like, normal. I can't remember what it was. And I was like, oh, that's a good one. And then I thought all the ones with bringing Ari in, weird.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you, yeah, like, what?
Why would you do that?
It's like, and some of the guys were saying, like, I don't know why you want, like, her to be looking at her ex. Like, that's so weird. But, yeah. Or, like, somebody was proposing. That was weird. You know how on one meet.
Yeah. And then she's like, all right, that guy is rushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought the minivan thing that was good. It wasn't over the top. It was like, I'm taking this seriously, but I'm also trying to keep it lighthearted and fun.
What'd you see, or what'd you think of the chicken suit?
It was all right. I think I liked it. Like, the whole Bacah thing got annoying, but I loved when he got dunked on and he was screaming, Bacah! Everyone's gonna want to do that now, though, right?
When he took his hat off, he seemed like funny, and they were having a good time. It reminded me of Alexis Waters. Yep, as the dolphin.
Yeah, she's the best.
Yep.
That was, I feel like since then, now there's going to be someone on each season who
bolder
does that.
for the girl to do it, I think. But
if you had an entrance on Bachelor, what would you do?
I don't know, but I would have to think about it for like a long time.
Yeah. I feel like if you were on there, you'd be trying to do something funny and memorable.
I don't think I'll ever go on there.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going on a Bachelorette. I would probably... Can't you see me wearing some kind of a weird costume?
I don't know.
I think our brother... my mom and I were joking about our brother Timmy wearing his Stitch onesie from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. He's like, I'm looking for my Lilo. Just kidding. That's kind of weird. They weren't like together at all, Lilo and Stitch.
He totally would do that, though. I like the one, you could definitely do it. I like the sports writer on the last season who was like, hey, and tossed a softball over to Ari.
Okay.
And he looked like he had never seen a softball before in his life. Because then she didn't make it.
Vaguely remember that.
But I thought that was good.
Yeah.
That
something
could be you.
fun, but not like, what the heck type of thing, you know? But, yeah.
Let's see. So, what else stuck out to you from this premiere? So, we like the guy who dunked on her. He seems fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We should pull up the cast.
The previews for the season are always great. They're always like, my heart could never be happier than I am right now. And then it cuts to her being like, like crying so hard, like she's like, I just think I should quit. Like, but I did hear Chris Harrison said she is engaged.
Oh,
so that's not a spoiler either because he said so. So she has found it, hopefully for the real time this time.
So I'm scrolling through. Let's see. Nice dig there at Ari. That was good. How many Ari references do you think we're going to see on this season?
Hopefully none.
Because we saw the preview where Jordan, the model, is like, "You're worse than Ari, man." Okay,
we're looking at the cast.
Yeah, we're looking at the cast. I feel like we got most of these people.
That guy was weird.
This guy?
Wait, how about the software, like engineer guy? He was like, I designed Venmo.
Oh yeah.
That was me. I would have been like, all right, Venmo me for the rose. Yeah.
That's good. I like that. Oh, how about we didn't talk about the guy who made the really, really jerky first impression, where he's like, we meet 50-50, or maybe like 60-40, and then he was surprised that he got sent home.
He got sent home?
Yeah.
Good. Because she was kind of like,
he didn't get a rose. Camille.
Yeah, that was weird.
He just seemed shady.
All of their pants, like I saw a lot of the pants were just too short. Like his pants looked too short. They went above his ankle and tight. And then wore, like, weird shoes with it. And I was like, I don't know.
How about our guy, Lincoln? He's came here from another country. Uh-huh. Is he... I can't remember where he's from, but he's from another country. He's got the awesome accent.
Based on the, well, when I first saw his intro video, I thought, I don't think he would be, like, her boyfriend. It looked like he would just be like a good friend of hers, but then I don't know, from the season preview it looked like he went pretty far into the competition, but we'll see. I don't know.
It looked like the guy with the phone gate, text gate, whatever you want to call it, the guy who brought all that up looked like he was stirring the pot with that guy.
Yeah, he reminds me, I don't know if you watched I don't know whose season it was, but that one guy, Alex.
Yeah.
Remember he was
with Chad?
Twin? Yeah. No, wait. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy was a military vet.
Yeah. He was on Paradise last year. That's why I remember him. But he was the same way.
Yeah, he was. Chad was what brought me into The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
He had good points.
Remember when he would be like, I want some milk or something? He said that.
We also got Mike, the guy who's the sports analyst. He's a writer for Pro Football Focus. He has 18,000 Twitter followers already. And I think he covers Notre Dame or something.
Oh,
but
he had
he's
a
got
ponytail.
Yeah, what do you think? Like,
I thought his hair looked weird because he had like flyaways like sticking out. I was like, I feel like if you're doing the ponytail look, you don't want to look messy. You might want to slick it back, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know about the man bun.
I think we pretty much got everyone on here.
Mm-hmm. Leo looks like Russell Brand, everyone.
He kind of looks like Russell Brand is like, he's the love child of Russell Brand and Troy Polamalu.
Maybe so.
He looks like he could be on Survivor.
Yeah. Maybe he's using The Bachelor to get him on the public's radar. It's a cross-network thing.
I'm trying to think. Ooh, whoops. I think we pretty much touched on everyone who seemed interesting, but it looks like it's going to be a fun season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you have a winner pick right now from the first episode?
Well, you got to go with the first impression.
Yeah,
Rose.
you do.
So, based on that, it could be Garrett, right? That's his name. So, we'll see. I don't know.
Definitely.
I think she definitely is looking for a family guy.
Yeah.
Family guy.
Oh, you're so funny. Now you have a podcast to make your puns on.
What should we rename this podcast?
Oh, boy.
Comment below.
Oh, dear.
I'm just kidding.
All right. So, yeah. Anything else Bachelorette related that comes to mind you want to mention?
Well, it's about Tia.
Tia?
Raven's friend Tia.
Yeah.
Last night posted on Instagram story saying, I don't know why people go out of their way to be really mean to me, and like she pretty much called out 2 people on her Instagram for like roasting her in the comments. And if you like go and read the comments, some of them have been deleted, but it kind of said that there was, well, I don't want to say any kind of spoiler, so
okay.
Well, if you're interested, check out her Memorial Day post in the comments.
Yeah, you can be our social media expert on what's going on in the Bachelorette world.
Yeah, it had to do with one of the guys on this season, so.
Yeah, I think I gotta take the chalk and go Garrett. He's the 1 seed right now, I would say.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, obviously, because he's
yeah.
First impression. But I honestly, like, a lot of them look the same.
Yeah.
So it's hard to remember all of them. But, yeah.
I feel like we've gotten away from the Bachelorette haircut, which was, like, probably 2 seasons ago, where they all have that same haircut, where they, like...
You know, Leo's really trying to change the game, so...
And Mike, the sports analyst.
Yeah. So...
All right, you want to do Survivor now?
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Let's do the darn thing.
So, Survivor Ghost Island just finished. It was the 36th season. It's hard to believe. Actually, yesterday was 18 years ago, the premiere of the first season of Survivor.
Only you know that. Only.
Not me. Not just me. I saw it all over Twitter from the Survivor folks that I follow.
Okay.
What'd you think of Ghost Island? Well, what'd you think of the finale?
Well, I was honestly, it was interesting. So at the final 3 it was Dom, Laurel, and Wendell. So we do a draft in our family. Everybody gets 2 players.
Oh, here we go.
And I had 2 out of the final 3 and lost somehow. I had Laurel and Dom, and they both went down. But it was really, where do we even begin? I don't know. With this.
The season or the finale?
The finale.
So, I guess let's just go with the lead. So, we had the historic first ever tie in Survivor history. And there was something that I actually enjoyed about this. Because...
I'm kind of shocked. Like, why is that a shock?
What?
You're like, something that I
Well, because you always you're always saying that I'm ripping on everything Survivor
nowadays. He's pretty cynical about it these days.
So, okay.
Just enjoy the show, whatever. But, okay.
So, I'm a big proponent of the final 2 over the final 3, like back in the old days of Survivor. So, we got a final 2 in some regards. Mm-hmm. The other thing was... I believe the only season where they ever have revealed the votes live on the island. Did you even know that they did that before?
Richard?
Yeah, that was the first season. Yeah. So you knew that. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was the first time since Borneo, and I feel like at this point in Survivor, when they go out there to do the live show, like the jury doesn't want people to go out there and be humiliated and get their hopes crushed on live TV and everything. And so and also it's tough to keep a secret for 9-10 months or however long, especially for that.
How do you know all
season.
this?
I mean, just judging on the way that you've seen the show, it seems like they know who's going to win when they read the votes live.
Okay.
I think the jury tends to tell who voted for who, and they know. And this time, they didn't know. So we were seeing raw emotion. Wendell's there crying. Dom's just shocked.
Oh, you don't think Laurel told them?
Well, I'm talking... No, okay. I'm talking about when they read the votes on the island at Tribal Council. Okay. They were just like, we were seeing raw emotion. We get to see cuts from the jury. It was some of the most emotional stuff I've seen at a Tribal Council, like with a vote in a long time.
Yeah. So, well, now do you think Laurel told them?
Yeah. And Dom even said, like, he knew that he wasn't going to get Laurel's vote.
Right. I think Laurel was going to vote for Wendell anyway, but Wendell giving Laurel that extra immunity necklace really sealed the deal when he compared her to his sister and stuff.
I feel like that...
Once I knew Laurel was voting, the deciding vote, I thought of that and I was like, oh, it's Wendell. And I was mad because I wanted Dom to win.
So I feel like maybe that was a bigger TV moment, but what I look back to is how about when Wendell completed the puzzle before Laurel did, and Laurel, he didn't make a big stink about, like, that's supposed to be my immunity. He just thought, all right, whatever, I'll let Laurel take it. He was a gentleman about that.
I don't know about that.
I feel like that just showed how well he was doing with a social game.
I don't know. I didn't think he did, like, I don't know. I thought he was kind of being a baby during that thing.
Really?
Yeah, because he knew he had to call the name, and then he tried to be like, what? I had it first.
Didn't even know you had to call the name.
What? Everyone always does that, though.
Kind of.
But he wasn't like, he was still looking over it. Like, he wasn't like looking up, like looking at Jeff. So I feel like he was like, hey, I had it. Like, I don't know.
I feel like Laurel said after that, she was like, wow, like in her confessional, she was like, I really appreciate, like, that just shows how tight we are, and that he didn't make a big stink about it.
I don't know. But, yeah.
The thing that I think I'm coming away from the season the most surprised by is, so you know the social media stuff with The Bachelor, Bachelorette. I know a lot from Survivor. Yeah. The big thing that I find really interesting is how close everyone's saying that Seabass was to winning.
Who says that?
Interviews with the cast, a lot of people said they were going to vote for Seabass if he got there.
That's really weird.
Because they all said he's such a nice guy.
Maybe they edited it. I mean, if they had edited it like he was going to win, then we all would have been like...
Exactly.
Yeah, so I guess it does come down now. But he literally said in the finale, that in the final jury, that he was drunk at, that he had no strategy the whole game. He was like, you played a very strategic game, Dom, unlike me.
But see, I don't think you have to have strategy to win. I think really, if you look at the core of the show, I was thinking about this with the jury, right? If it was all about who can be the most strategic, why don't we just have a jury of people who weren't even on the show? And they just sit there and they analyze all the strategic moves and everything. Because then they take emotion out of it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I think that there's no guidelines for what wins. When the show started, it was basically, how can you navigate through voting these people out and still getting their votes at the end of the day?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's any real guidelines for how you pick a winner. At the end of the day, it's, can you sleep at night knowing that this person beat you? I think and people operate under different guidelines. Some people with strategy, whatever. And apparently everyone loves Seabass. He definitely would have gotten Jenna's vote. He seemed close with a lot of the Malolos. He was close with Donathan. He was close with Angela.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting at the final... Wait, so who did Kellen vote for?
She voted for Wendell.
Okay, so at the final tribal council, she said, raise your hand if you were part of the Dom and Wendell show. And then X amount of people rose their hand. And then she said, okay, who brought you into it? And they all said Dom except for Wendell. Or except for Seabass. And so then I was like, okay, so she's trying to make a point that Dom was better at social game. So I thought her vote was definitely going to Dom. And I thought a lot of the votes were I thought Dom had won the thing.
Really?
Based on the final, like, the way he was, like, pitching himself, I thought he did a really good job. And I think when Seabass was, like, upset about what happened in the tribal council where Seabass went home, I think how Dom, like, in that tribal council, he acted out, and it was really embarrassing for him, and, like, it was not a good move. What he did, pulling out the fake idol and the real idol, it was just, I don't know. But then, I think he did a good job talking about why he did that and trying to justify it at all. And then Seabass was saying he was really upset by it, and then Dom was like, well, like, that's not who I am. Like, I just did that so you wouldn't vote, like, for me. And he was like, oh, yeah, I guess that's, like, it worked.
Yeah, but he didn't, like, he's like, yeah, congrats, it worked for you, man. But, like, you're not winning me over with that.
I guess.
But there's another part of that Wendell and Seabass were apparently really close. If you remember, do you remember when Wendell gave Seabass that shell that he hung on to him for?
No.
Like, Seabass had a shell at early part of the game, and he switched tribes, and Wendell hung onto the shell and brought it to him when they got back together on the same team. And I think stuff like that shows why Wendell eventually won the
Wendell
vote.
was smart to take him to that reward right before he voted him out, too, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, and so...
I think Dom had better relationships with people on the outside because he tried to talk to Libby, he tried to talk to Jenna, he tried Michael, people from the other side, where I think Wendell was closer with the people inside the alliance.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because a lot of those people voted for
Yeah,
him,
exactly.
You know, the people on the outside. Which, I mean, it's two different ways to look at it, and they both worked for both of them because they got the same amount of votes, except for Laurel. You know?
Ever since we started having a Final Three, there's been the possibility that you could always have a tie. And I got the impression that they were hoping they'd get this at some point.
Okay.
Can we go back to the Final Two now, or do you want to keep it at Final Three?
Well, I think that they should get rid of the fire making thing.
Yeah,
because,
definitely.
But it's also kind of absurd how some of these people don't know how to make a fire.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm going on Survivor, I'm going to be practicing making a fire every day until I can make it perfectly.
Well, you don't have to, because it's like almost now, it's like the strategy is not knowing how to make a fire, so that way you're safe.
I mean, yeah, but you don't have to tell everybody that you know how. I don't know, but
that's how Laurel got there to the final three.
That was so.
And that's how Ryan got there on the last season. Is like, oh, they don't know how to make fire. So it's almost like I feel like next season we could have. Well, I don't know how to make fire. Well, I don't know how to make fire.
True, that's true. That was annoying, like, because it's like, it defeats the purpose of the whole thing. So it's like, just get rid of that. But they said it's going to be a thing from, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
They still could get rid of it. I don't know, but.
I would love to see a season where we just went back to Final Two, because have you ever thought about why we have a jury? It's because when you get to two people, there's no way to decide a winner. Mm-hmm. But when you have three people, you can still have a vote. It's like when you get to two, the game's over.
So when did it switch to three?
It was Survivor Cook Islands with Yule and Ozzy and Becky were the final three. Okay.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Huh? Yeah. That was like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah, basically.
So, yeah. I'm fine with whatever at this point.
Would you like to see less idols/advantages?
The what?
Less idols.
Well, okay. Well, I was joking about this with somebody. Like, some of the people, like, Ben, the veteran, like, he just kept whipping them out. Like, he just kept finding them. And it was like, at some point it's like, it looks bad for the show. Like, it looks like whoever's filming them searching around is like stomping on an idol and being like, hey, look here, you know what's keep finding them.
You know what's bad, looks really bad, is I saw this on social media, someone did the amount of idols found. So there have been about 100 idols found in the history of the show. 86 of them are found by men, 16 by women.
I wonder what factors there are. I don't know,
but that doesn't look too good.
Yeah, but no one knows that. Like, no one's gonna go by and count. I don't know. It's interesting, I guess. How early is too early to look for an idol?
I mean, see, the problem is that I have with idols is because Survivor is a social game, and if you go off by yourself, that's not good. Like, people are like, oh, I don't trust them. Right. I think Dom and Wendell were really helped out by the fact that they each had an idol, and I know a lot of people were disappointed that there weren't a lot of excitement and shifts of unpredictability, what's going to happen. It was like they were untouchable because they both had an idol, where I think they created the idol to have that unpredictability, and now the game has evolved that's just keeping players safe more than it's creating interest.
So I don't have that big of a problem with that whole thing because, like, with idols, because I think it's kind of interesting, but it was kind of like at the end, it was like, okay, Dom and Wendell aren't going home.
Yeah.
So it was like, I wanted to see them go head to head and try to go after each other, but it didn't happen. So I don't know. And also, something about this season, some of the episodes were kind of boring because it was like, they were like as Kellen would say, Navidi strong. And it was just...
Well, I think part of the problem was the whole show was edited around the strategic... Is there going to be a big move? And then there never was a big move. So why were we filling all that time with the talk of it if it never came? Like, we could have filled that with, hey, here's something funny that so-and-so said.
Here's how Seabass and Jenna started dating. Or the Kellen and the whatever his name
Bradley.
is. Yeah, that is the weird one. Real weird. I'd love to, and even in the reunion shows, they don't talk about it at all. And it's like, I want to know, what they're up to now. How did they start dating? Now we get to see Kevin Hart. Oh, no, thank you.
So do you think that CBS told Survivor, you have to have Kevin Hart here to promote the show? Do you think that they wanted him on there? Survivor wanted him on there?
Well, I don't know. I think it was a network thing,
I think
obviously,
so too.
But I don't know.
But, okay, so let's say we have to have a 5-minute Kevin Hart promo. Why do we have to have James and Eric there? We don't need that. We could talk to the current cast. Mm-hmm. Seems like the only person we heard from was Michael.
Yeah. It was kind of interesting, though, that they said... that Sia is a Survivor fan.
Yeah, and she didn't even show up this time.
Was she at the last one?
She showed up 2 years ago in her head thing that she wears. The
hair?
Yeah. And she showed up and she said that they no longer have a Survivor fan favorite prize, so she was going to give money to Ty. And now she gave it to Donathan, but she didn't even show up.
Yeah. That was funny.
But, I would have liked to hear Donathan's reaction to that, too. It would have been interesting. It was just what do you think about that?
Oh, my God.
All right, that's enough from you, Donathan. Let's go back to talking about...
Yeah. See who this little girl will vote for.
Oh, my gosh. I wish it didn't have to be hosted like Jeff's hosting an award show.
I guess. I just, I'm not as much as you are about bring back old Survivor, but the reunion show I am all right, I do want to hear from Gonzalez, who was the first voted out. She was interesting, and they got rid of her really quickly, and I want to hear about the kid who, went off, the awkward kid, what was his name?
Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, he was one of the most memorable, first or second boots that we've ever had.
Yeah, so it's I want to hear from them, and... You don't get that. So then you gotta turn to Twitter and see what they're saying,
Well, it's like the part of the problem is the storytelling is like, well, we're just going to show you some stuff, and you're supposed to do homework on the rest. You're supposed to watch Ponderosa in order to know what these people are like,
they really didn't even talk about to Wendell really either.
No, they didn't.
It was like, what are you gonna do with this money? Or are you still dating your girlfriend? Or, I don't think they are.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. We didn't see her, so.
Well, I don't
know really if they are.
I mentioned this to you before. Like, if they're gonna bring out Kevin Hart, they should at least say, "Hey, Kevin, congratulate Wendell. You guys are both from Philly." Like, that would at least make it look like he cares, because it's obvious that he maybe has never seen an episode of Survivor before in his life.
Oh, yeah. He was like, "Great job, guys.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up."
That was actually kind of funny.
I didn't think so. I was like, this is so... ugh.
Well, it's funny because it was so lame. But, yeah, that was definitely disappointing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, they should do a Survivor in Paradise.
Oh. Yeah, it'd be cool to do a crossover. One thing I think that people will say about the season, as we look back on it, I think you liked it overall, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I wasn't a fan of it, but the things that I will say is I think the premiere was pretty good, I think the merge episode was pretty good, and I think the finale was decent. So, like, the big marks of the game were... And I thought the merge episode was one of the best that we've seen in a while.
I can't remember.
It was with Chris and Dom butting heads, and they were doing the confessionals where they're both trash-talking each other.
Yeah, that was funny. I think something that they should bring back is the Survivor auction.
I know!
That's so fun to watch.
It's like, I don't know why we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
We do these boring rewards.
I like the food eating ones, though.
Yeah, that was good.
Angela went off in that one.
I thought...
They were like, I love Dom. He's like, yeah, so we can keep Angela around because all she's really proven us is that she's good at eating weird food.
I know you disagree, but in my opinion, the most compelling character of the entire season was Chris Noble. I loved Chris. I thought he was such great TV.
Yeah, I was on the Dom side. As I said earlier, he was one of my draft picks, so I was rooting for him.
But I feel like you should be able to appreciate what Chris brought to the show.
I don't know.
I mean, like, it was just so funny.
I mean, it was just weird that he was mad from day one because Dom was like, it's not what I would have done. You know? Remember on the first challenge?
Well, I think there was, like, it was a classic alpha male power struggle where they both wanted to be in charge. And it's clear Dom wanted to be in charge, and Chris wanted to as well. But it is kind of funny that it never worked out. I mean, there's other stuff. Dom showed him a fake idol, and he knew it was fake. And it was kind of funny how then and no one believed Chris.
Yeah, that was like...
He made Chris look stupid even though he was right.
Aww. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought the thing that was so fun about Chris was he reminded me of Coach, where it was like, oh, you play volleyball? I won a volleyball tournament once.
Chris, I didn't really like him on the season because he was going after someone I liked.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if he came back, I wouldn't root against him, you know?
He would be, here's a fun question, Survivor contestants that you'd like to see appear on The Bachelor or Bachelorette series. I'd like to see him competing on The Bachelorette against guys. I think that would be really funny. Wendell, but you think he's free now.
Well, I don't have any reason why I say that, but I don't know, maybe.
Well, we didn't see her at the finale, did we?
No, but I mean, we only really saw Wendell Sr.
I think Devin Pinto from last season would be a good Bachelor.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm. See, he got the short end of the stick on the fire making.
And he would have been a great winner to have. That would have been great. He would have won the season if it weren't for that stupid twist. Mm-hmm. And Wendell definitely would have won this season.
For Angela this season, they didn't really play up the war vet,
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, so, it's interesting.
I thought the editing was just very unbalanced. I would have liked to see more from other characters. as we mentioned, like, to know that Seabass was so close to winning is shocking to us. But I think that would have been interesting, like, to see how can Dom and Wendell get over this last hurdle, which they had to. So that would have made it more dramatic.
Yeah, that interview where Seabass says he had been drinking before the final tribal. He said he hated Dom for like months after. And he was like, I'd go to sleep like picturing seeing his face, like, and I would get so mad. I was like, jeez.
Well, see, I mean, I think I kind of like seeing that animosity because I feel like we've lost a lot of that, whereas earlier in the show we'd see a lot of just more real emotion from people in that regard. But you disagree.
So do you think that people knew Michael was 18?
See, here's the thing with that. Like, I was thinking about every story he must have told would have been like, one time when I was in high school, because, I mean, he doesn't have any stories to just make up from college.
But also, like, I feel like when you're, like, I'm just finished freshman year of college, I'll say, like, oh, in high school, in junior year of high school, or whatever. Yeah. So if he was still in high, like, I don't really remember.
He graduated high school early and then went on the show.
He's not in college, so he's not gonna look back and be like back in high school. Yeah. You know, so he can just state memories as if they like had just happened, or like
maybe
I don't know. So like what I'm saying is, he wouldn't say in high school because it was so recent. He would just be like, oh yeah, my friends and I like did this.
And they'd be like, that's a high school activity.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. So.
That's where, or if he said like my sophomore year, and they'd be like, are you talking about high school?
So are him and Libby like dating?
I don't know.
I think they had a showmance, but they didn't really show.
Yeah, that was really weird because we found out when they were voting them out, they're like, yeah, then there's this couple of them, and we're like, wait, like,
yeah,
we never heard about that.
Yeah. But Libby seems a lot older than him, so that might be kind of a bump in the road for the time being.
Yeah, that would have been really funny if she found out that he was 18 and was like, ooh, I don't know about this.
Yeah. Anyway, but...
Looking forward to David versus Goliath?
Sure. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'll watch, you know. I'm not super, like, can't wait for it to start.
Yeah.
I'm more excited for Bachelor in Paradise.
Okay, when was the last season of Survivor that you were really excited about? That you really liked?
The one...
Millennials versus Gen X. Game Changers. You like Game Changers?
But I was excited for it.
Okay, well, I mean, when, like, you watched the season and you were, like, excited to watch it every single week.
Who won Millennials?
Adam Klein.
Oh yeah, that was good. I love Jay.
Yeah, that was the last season that I really liked.
I mean, I like watching Survivor. I watch it live every week at school, so I like the
yeah.
season.
It's still a good show. I still
like watching this one. Yeah, I'm excited. I get excited for them weekly. Something to look forward to. So. All
right. Well, you have any other thoughts you want to talk about Survivor?
No.
Okay. Do you want to promote anything on here? Your Twitter, Instagram handles?
Sure. My Twitter is @LauraVita10. My Instagram is LAWRUHH. Give it a follow. It's Laura, but you know. And yeah, so it's been great being on here. So
yeah, it's fun to have you. How about your favorite interactions with Survivor contestants over social media?
Wait, what?
Over social media, interactions you've had with former Survivor contestants. Because you've had a couple.
Well, which ones? I don't remember.
Didn't Tyson tweet at you one time?
Tyson tweeted at me one time saying, congrats on getting into school, getting into college. Like, a lot of people fail out. Hope you're not one of them. Because Jack told him, like, oh, my sister, Tyson is my favorite Survivor contestant. He's so funny. And so Jack was like, oh, my sister, you're my sister's favorite. Like, tweet at her. And he's like, all right, whatever. I think Michaela liked one of my tweets once.
Yeah, wasn't she? You tweeted something about going to the same school as her.
Yeah, because she went to TCU, and I was on the finale or something. Or no, I don't remember when it was. I was tweeted at her, and I was like, go Frogs or something. She liked it, I guess. But I'm always commenting on celebrity Instagrams and Twitter things. So, yeah.
Let's talk about one last thing.
Right.
One last thing on the finale that I just want to, because I'm a Laurel fan.
Okay. Somehow not a Yanni fan.
I was gonna make that joke. I was gonna say the jury was clearly Team Yanni.
Yeah.
But I know she was getting a lot from social media, people saying she was dumb, blah blah blah. And it was, if you're interested in why she didn't make any moves, I would just recommend to the listeners listen to some of her exit press stuff, interviews that she did as to why she had somewhat tried to, but she just didn't really have a whole lot of options. That if she was to make a move, she wasn't going to get to the end. She had even tried to talk to Kellen, but Kellen threw her under the bus. If you remember that, she put 2 votes on Laurel, and then with her extra vote, and so she's like, "Well, why should I ever try to talk to Kellen again?"
Yeah.
Wow. Whereas Wendell was protecting her, so.
Yeah, I mean, Wendell owes a lot to Laurel.
He does.
She saved him, so many times and gave him $1 million.
Yeah. There's no sharing of the prize money, but he should buy her a dinner or something.
Yeah. So.
Or a Philly cheesesteak.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, thanks again for coming on. Hopefully we'll do this again sometime.
Sure, yeah. Mm-hmm. Thanks for having me.
I know if I ever need you, I can always just walk down the hallway. Maybe you won't come back. Oh, how about this? One last thing. Would you like to see Idols on The Bachelorette?
No. What? At that point, it's like, you're just weird. Like, she doesn't like you.
You have won a make-your-own rose kit.
That's so weird. That's why the show is not on CBS. I would throw that out there. All right. Well,
yeah.
Thanks for having me, everyone.
All right. That's it. Okay. So thank you, everyone, to tuning in. It was a lot of fun talking to my sister. Hopefully you enjoyed this podcast.
Sorry, I was popping bubble wrap.
Hopefully you enjoyed this podcast. I know I had a lot of fun recording it. Hopefully sometime over the next week I will be talking to Jordan Morandini about the NBA Finals. There's a lot going on there. And thank you for keeping up with the show. If you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me at Velvita7, VELLVITA7 on Twitter. Tweet me your thoughts. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Other than that, I'm good for now. Have a great day and bring in the dancing lobsters.